Is the Austin real estate market in a bubble? This is Jordan Moorhead with the Moorhead team, and today I'm going to talk about something I get asked all the time. People ask me, is the Austin real estate market in the bubble? Real quick, let's go over some data here. But before we do, that's absolutely a great question. So when things have been moving so quickly, it's easy to think that something is wrong. So last year in 2020, we saw 40% appreciation. Now the national average for real estate appreciation is around 3%. So 40% is just bonkers. That's crazy. That's such a crazy rate of appreciation. Real quick, we're going to talk about just some data around the Austin market. So we've already covered that. It's 40% appreciation in 2020. Of course, 2021 is not over yet. I'm filming this in December of 2021, so we don't know exactly where we're going to land, but it looks like we're going to be somewhere in the high teens for 2021. So not 40%, but still not 3%, much higher than 3%. And we're going to talk about just some other data around the Austin market. So population growth. Austin has been one of the fastest growing cities for about the last decade. It's been number one for the past 8 years, and the population has grown about 20% in the last 8 years. So it's just moving up every day. It's a 2.5% growth year over year. And between 2009 and 2018, it increased by 32.7%. So obviously that's more than 20% growth, just such rapid growth. At the same time, median salaries in Austin, even in the past year, have gone up roughly 5%. So people are saying it's getting too expensive, people can't afford it. Well, wages are going up in Austin. More people are moving to Austin. They can afford this stuff. So we've got all these people moving from the West Coast, from California, from the Northeast, from New York, all the big cities like that, Boston. We help lots of people from Boston, New York, LA, San Francisco, that sell their houses for much more than houses cost in Austin and move to Austin. They bring a lot of that cash with them. But again, for people that already live in Austin, their wages are going up. We have great unemployment here in Austin. We have something like a 3% unemployment here right now. So that's because so many big campuses are moving to Austin. So right now we had Tesla's HQ announced recently. We had Samsung announce their next plant here in Austin. That's $17 billion. Last year we had the next Tesla plant in East Austin. That's $1.1 billion. We have the Apple campus. It's over $1 billion. It's going to be done soon. We have so many people moving here. There's the Oracle HQ, which announced they're moving to Austin last year. So when you've got all these big giant headquarters like Tesla, Oracle, Apple, all this stuff moving to Austin, they're bringing all these high-paying jobs with them, as evidenced by our wage growth is 5% last year. That's crazy. During the pandemic, when so many people were suffering so much, wages in Austin grew tremendously. The median income for a family in Austin now is around $100,000 a year. So if you're making $100,000 a year, you can afford a $500,000 house, and especially when we have such low interest rates. We've been seeing interest rates in the mid to high twos. Those are probably going to go up sometime, but they'll have to go up dramatically to make a huge difference in the Austin market. So all I'm saying is I personally don't think the Austin market is in a bubble. Again, I'm not an economist. I'll never be able to see the future. I'm just a realtor and a real estate investor here in Austin. I did have an economist on the podcast. That video is also up on the YouTube channel here. Brian Bolio, he's an economist. He's been an economist since 1987, and he said Austin is a go. Austin is going great. It's going to be going great for a while. Again, we can never predict anything. It's so hard to predict when things are going to go up, when things are going to go down. Everything always goes up. Eventually, everything always goes down or levels off. But it's hard to see that in Austin with tremendous population growth, with tremendous job growth, with them not making a lot of houses. So they can't build houses. They can't build them affordably. They can build $500,000 houses, but it's so expensive. It's so time consuming. There's labor constraints, there's material constraints. There's so many issues getting in the way of people building as much housing as we need, and that's a tremendous problem right now. But again, guys, this is just my opinion. I think the Austin market is in a great spot. I think it's going somewhere amazing, which is why I continue to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm buying at least one property a year in Austin, more if I can, but I'm doing at least one a year, and I'm trying to hold on to a piece of Austin real estate myself. Again, I'm not an economist, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, but this is just my opinion as a real estate investor and a realtor here in Austin. Thanks, guys.